Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our episode of Fifth Lord in the Seventh House, and what happens when Fifth Lord is in the Seventh House. And yes, I was sick yesterday, had a light fever and headache, and I just rested most of the day. That's why I couldn't make the video. But back in it again, and then again, and again. And if you want to know where your fifth lord is placed and what house it's in for that, check out the links here so you can get your full astrological report, including my books, Astrology Conjunctions and Aspects of the Speed of Light, to learn everything about, astrology and your lords through houses. And also, I'm going to have a numerology report coming. It can come today, it can come tomorrow, it can come this weekend. But most likely, it'll start on the 15th of December for sure. But I finally got a software that gives you literally, I think, like more than 84, 85 pages of numerology report, pinnacles and everything. So, I mean, I always was fascinated by numerology, and, that's why I changed my name. But it's a brand new edition, and it's a very, very, it took me a while to find the software because I matched every report with myself and people around me, and it wasn't as accurate as this one. When I found this one, I'm like, damn, this is good. So I got that software. But let's start with our fifth lord in the seventh house. Well, what is the fifth house? Fifth house is the house of education, children, romance, speculative business, entertainment, creative self-expression. It's a house of your past life deeds. And fifth house is the house of your basic education, like undergrad education is seen from the fifth house. Now, when that planet that controls that sign goes into the seventh house during your time of birth, seventh house is a house of partnership, marriage, relationships. It's your sexual activities with other people. Seventh house is a house of trade. It's the masses, like other people you interact with, strange people you interact with. It's a house of court. It represents courthouses, legal dealings and bindings, which happen in the court. So it represents the courthouse. Now, when the fifth lord goes in the seventh house, shows that your creative self-expression really comes about when you're in a relationship. When your romance turns into a marriage is what you really strive for. And you creatively express yourself in romance in the fifth house so that it can lead to marriage. Many people don't want that. Many people just want romance and then they want to move on to the next one. You're that one person who wants to take that fifth house romance and turn it permanently into a legal binding. It shows that through your spouse, you find your creative self-expression, and shows that there's this great relationship with the masses of people where, because of your creative self-expression, you're able to take your talent and show it to the masses, which means what? Creative fame, like actresses, artist, any kind of artist, musician, they're dealing with the masses and people are appreciating what they're doing. So it's not only the spouse, but the people that, are the strange people that are, interacting with your work are also going to appreciate what you do. However, fifth lord, when in the seventh house, usually shows that someone who may not use their education to make a living. Whenever fifth or ninth lord are in the seventh house or second house or eighth house, shows that someone, especially second and seventh, due to being the marka houses and the neutral houses, shows that someone who may not use their education, or your education will be useless for them if they were to pursue it, because it's mainly then becomes a business. For business, you don't need education, so that's what fifth lord in the seventh house mainly does. But depending upon what planet is going from the fifth lord to the seventh house, it'll have a bit of a different meaning. But this is really great for creative business. This is really great for having speculative business and turning into a huge venture, because seventh house is all about business and trade. So let's discuss what other planets do when they come into this house. So let's say if Sun controls your fifth house and Sun goes into the seventh house, shows somebody whose personality, self-esteem, all comes through when they're in a relationship and performing creative duties. It shows that one's own self-esteem and work really comes and shines when they're doing something of creativity. because in this situation, Sun is debilitated. So obviously government jobs will not work for these people, and being in the 7th of business and sign of Libra and being Lord of the 5th house automatically shows somebody who's out there trying to express themselves creatively, and through that their confidence and self-esteem rises. But if you were to put these guys in a different scenario, working in a government administration without having any support of other planet with the Sun, then they will lose their self-esteem and confidence. They'll be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do things here. But mainly, creatively, they really shine, and they take that lead role in the era, in the in their realm of creativity. And let's say if Moon controls your 5th house, and Moon goes into the 7th house, shows that somebody who emotionally, attaches themselves to their partner, to their spouse, to their business, partnership. But at the same time, these people, as much as they want to express themselves creatively here, what happens is they end up criticizing themselves. What they do, they feel like, oh my God, no, this is not right. I'm not capable of doing the great artistic work that I want to do. And what happens is here, creativity becomes a criticism play. When they criticize very creatively, but they criticize. In the relationship, they want to arrange things and make their partner look beautiful, make their partner look, good, but they will criticize them. And for them, that becomes a creative process. Otherwise, they become really great healers for the masses. They become really good lawyers for the masses, but mainly healers. Lawyers, they'll have to have Mars and Mercury supporting the Moon there. But mainly Moon here emotionally, criticizes of thyself and criticizes the other person, and that becomes their creative self-expression. That, hey, I know how to criticize things. Let me criticize you. Now, let's say if Mercury controls your 5th house, and Mercury goes into the 7th house, shows that somebody who uses great business skills to express themselves creatively. They feel that their creativity comes when they are wheeling and dealing and doing business and trade with other people. They can make really good writers, where their work is now appreciated by the masses. They become really good public speakers. And the thing is, whenever Mercury goes in from ruling the 5th house to the 7th house, shows somebody who can really manage and control the masses like a politician. So they have very good political skills with this placement. I won't say the Sun, because then Sun gets debilitated, but Mercury is a great talker. Mercury knows how to talk to the masses. He knows how to get the crowd going. But business-wise, they do really great here. Creativity, like marketing, they'll do very well. If they have a business, they'll know creative ways. They'll express themselves creatively in the business arena, and that's where they feel. And the thing is, with this placement, Mercury wants a very communicative spouse. And Mercury wants a spouse who will help their communication gets expressed nicely. So if their partner is not enhancing their communication skills or business skills, they will not be happy with them. They want somebody who will rise with them. Let's say Venus controls your 5th house and goes into the 7th house, shows that you're looking for not only love, like crazy head over heels type of love, but at the same time, you are looking for an artistic partner, because that's the only way you'll be able to creatively express yourself as a 5th house lord. It shows that they only pick partners who will help their creativity excel, because Venus is the significator of creativity and art and painting. And at the same time, they become really good actors. They're able to emotionally connect with the crowd, and especially in romantic roles, they do very well here with the masses. They can do business of female products. They'll do very well. They can do currency exchange business, because currency is controlled by Venus. They can do currency exchange business. And with Sun, I also forgot to say that if they were to do business of gold, they can do that, but they should have support of Jupiter. Because debilitated Sun, that means weak gold. You shouldn't want to do that. But when Jupiter aspects Sun or is with Sun, that's when it'll really do good with gold. And let's say Mars controls your fifth house. Mars going to the seventh house shows a very aggressive businessman and a very aggressive communicator. It shows somebody who's out there to fight and control the crowd, fight and control the masses. Through their business schemes, they want to just try to take over and be the general of the world. And their creative expression comes through competition. When they're in a competition, if they have a single stall in a swap meet, they're not happy. They want 2-3 other people to have the same single stall so they can compete with them, defeat them, and annihilate them. And that's where they feel creative. That's where they feel that, oh, yes, I am doing something, that I am passionate about. And usually their education may come from engineering or may come from electronics. Let's say Jupiter controls your fifth house. Jupiter grows into the seventh house, shows somebody who becomes a great advisor to the masses, who becomes this great advisor in business. They can do financial business, and they can also become lawyers, because Jupiter is a classical lawyer because he's the one who writes the law. And seventh house of courthouses, Jupiter knows how to advise and counsel their clients, so becomes a natural lawyer. So Jupiter being here, a person expresses themselves through knowledge. Their creative self-expression comes from knowledge, and they only look for partners who can enhance their intelligence and knowledge. They will look for a partner with PhDs and master degrees, even though they might end up getting a divorce because the guy or girl might be complete asshole and gold digger. But that's what the planet is wanting them to do, is to get that perfect on the paper person who's went to Harvard and then got their postgrad in MIT. Now they're freaking working in Washington DC, screwing the rest of the country and the world, and that's what they like. But Jupiter also, the reason, the fine lining here is that Jupiter really wants somebody to form a relationship with, especially for marriage, is somebody who's very on a higher level. Like, these people don't have to go with that perfect one on the paper. Like, if you know, let's say, the Vedas, and you just know everything about the Vedas, or you know everything about the Quran or the Bible, and you're very good at it or master at it, these people will be attracted to you because they find that, oh my God, he has so much knowledge to share and give. Let me come after you. So that's what happens. Let's say Saturn controls the fifth house. Saturn goes into the seventh house, shows that your creative self-expression really comes when you are doing your work. When you are doing your duty in the marriage. When you are working, paying the bills, raising the kids, that's your creative self-expression. And Saturn, though, gets a directional strength in the seventh house. So shows that very stable and long-lasting marriage. At the same time, shows delay of marriage because Saturn is in the seventh house as the fifth house lord. Romance comes late in life. Romance usually is kind of cold unless Venus sits in the seventh or fifth house. Then it becomes a bit more energetic. And here Saturn can control the masses, like a politician, somebody who, goes out there and does non-profit organization work, and that's how they creatively express themselves, that, hey, I'm doing work for the masses, I'm doing work for the poor, for the elderly. So that's what Saturn loves doing, and Saturn here becomes a very great businessman, just like Mercury, because Saturn here has directional strength. He loves being amongst the people of the marketplace. He loves making trades with people, where Sun is debilitated there. Sun wants to take over everybody, and in the business world, you can't take over other businesses without getting a spit from them. So this is why Saturn knows how to wheel and deal and take care of things. So that's what Saturn does in the seventh house. Okay? And these people also look for mature people as a spouse. So guys, this is my analysis of fifth lord in the seventh house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know get your full astrological report, including perhaps your numerology report, check out the link here and keep checking it for that. Bye-bye.